Well, Austin City Limits is going on for the next 2 weekends, and lots of people make it a family affair. They bring their kids out, but doctors say there are things to prepare for if you're bringing your kids to the festival or just any large event for that matter. And here to run us through some safety tips this morning is Dr. Teresa Willis. She's a pediatrician with the Austin Diagnostic Clinic. Good morning to you.
Good morning. How are you?
Good. And you were already out at ACL yesterday.
I was yesterday, and beautiful weather. Great crowd.
Yeah, it looks like a good time. Of course, we had one of our reporters out there with the headsets on last night for the final show. So, yeah, even people in our own newsroom say they make this a family affair. They take the kids. Some people might be thinking that's crazy, but there's a lot to do out there for kids.
There is a lot to do. They have the Austin Kitty Limits. They have bands that are specifically there catering to kids, games and events and stuff like that for children. So
there are things that parents should know to kind of prepare themselves, make the excitement a little smoother.
Yeah.
Let's first talk about the crowds, because I mean, as it gets later in the day, of course, it gets more crowded out there.
Yeah, I was impressed. The crowds were really big yesterday, and with the weather being so nice, there are a lot of people there. I think one of the important things is for parents to talk with the kids ahead of time about staying close, staying within arm's reach, and keeping an eye out on your children.
What should, could they already be planning ahead when they're getting their kids dressed and ready to go?
Absolutely. I think it's a really good idea to put your child in something very bright colored, easy to pick out, you know, like a nice neon orange or something that makes it easy for you to keep an eye on your child. And maybe even take a photo of what your child's wearing before you leave that day, so that if you do get separated, it's easy for you to show somebody official, this is what my child's wearing, this is what he looks like today.
And I was joking during the commercial break, back in the day I used to see kids or parents actually leash themselves to their kids and go around with a leash, you know, at the mall or things like that. Yeah, didn't see any of those yesterday.
I didn't, but I did see a lot of parents sort of corralling their kids with their chairs and the strollers and things like that during the concerts to kind of keep people from walking through or walking between them and their children.
Yeah, for sure. And there is a program, Tag a Kid. It's a service that, tell me a little bit about that.
Right, it's a wristband service where it's that way if you get separated from your child has contact information on their wristband, so that anybody official who finds them can help get them back to their parents, knows who they belong to. Basically.
Got it. So systems in place as well. What should a parent maybe stuff in their purse, stuff in their backpack before they head out?
You absolutely need sunscreen, even though it's cooler. The sun is hot out there. Need to bring sealed water bottles or empty water bottles that you can fill at the venue. You know, snacks, your child's medication, especially if your child is an asthmatic or has food allergies, make sure you've got your albuterol or your EpiPen with you. Take those things you might need in case of emergency. Yeah,
you mentioned snacks, very important, because food can be expensive and you want something easy you can pull out that you don't have to refrigerate.
Right, and it's not necessarily all kid-friendly food, and you've got to stand in line, so if you've got your snacks packed with you, that can save a lot of heartache.
Yeah, and last but not least, I mean, is there an age that's too young to take out to ACL?
I worry about the little ones, especially the kids, the babies who are too little to say, hey, that music is too loud, because it is very loud at some of those venues, and that can affect children's hearing. So you want to be very careful about bringing small children who can't, you know, cover their ears or show that they're distressed.
And you have seen kids with the headsets on.
Yes, I have seen quite a few kids with the headsets on.
So a good idea.
Yeah, stay away from the speakers.
There you go, there you go. Dr. Willis, thank you so much for coming in this morning.